Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to the immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we're almost few slokas are left, around I think 20 or 30 slokas of Aparokshanubhuti text is left out. We're at the fag end of this work, Aparokshanubhuti, the immediate realization of the self. Now, after discussing different aspects of the philosophy, now the author is trying to tell the 15 limbs by which, by doing, one can be established himself in Vedantic vision or in Vedantic realization. So, almost 7 to 8 limbs we have seen, starting from Yamaniyama. What is this? Their Samya. What is that equanimity, equipoise, samatva, samadrushti, has been explained in the 115th verse. Just we are touched upon. Now we will be discussing in detail from this onwards now. Anganam samatam vidyat same brahmani linatam no chennaiva samanatvam rujutvam shushka vrikshavat. The meaning is like absorption in the uniform Brahman should be known as the equipoise of limbs. Otherwise, mere straightening of the body like that of a dried up tree is no equipoise. Equipoise means samatva. In the meditation also, samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam stiram sampreksha nasikagram swam dishascha navalokayan. If you remember the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they say, samam kaya shiro grivam. Your body should be straight when you sit for meditation. The neck portion and the whole backbone and the below portion, everything should be like straight line. If someone try to draw a straight line behind your body, the line should come. Sometimes we should be like or cross or with a hunched back, we'll be sitting for meditation. So according to the Patanjala Yoga or Bhagavad Gita, that is not allowed. You are supposed to sit straight in a comfortable position. Of course, it should not be stiff. It should be straight and it should be comfortable. This is what has been told Samatva in Patanjali Yoga Sutra in Bhagavad Gita. Now, author doesn't deny that. Author says that Samatva should not be restricted only to this. Instead of that, Samatva should be seeing the consciousness in everywhere or in everything should be Samatva. Right? Because the tree also will be very erect and stand. Say a pole, it is also very erect. It is very straight. So then what is the difference between me and the pole? So he says that Samatva has to be maintained equal vision according to the author. And the question may come for all of us, why should we maintain the straight? Why should we maintain the straightness while meditating? When we sit straight, even for studies, if you have observed, when you sit straight and in a good posture, comfortable posture, if you sit and start reading or studying, the concentration becomes easy. Sitting in a very wrong postures or sleeping and reading many times, it can reduce us, it can push us into sleep, or it can bring the restlessness of the mind. Similarly, when we sit straight, our breathing will become normal and it will be easy. When the breathing becomes normal and natural, the control of the mind, to a certain extent, it becomes easy. If my breathing becomes uneven and ununiform, then definitely my mind state also becomes more and more restless. Say, for an example, when we run, we will be having a gasping. When we gasp, so definitely mind also becomes hyperactive, or it will also become restless. If the mind is calm, the breathing also will be very steady. If there is a disturb in the breathing, then there is a equally your mind is also disturbed. So there's a lot of link between mind and your breathing. When you sit straight, comparatively, your breathing will be natural and normal, and it also helps to certain extent to control your mind. It is not completely, but to certain extent. So that's why in Yoga and Bhagavad Gita they tell. So Adi Shankaracharya, he accepts it, no doubt, but he only says that mere keeping body straight is not samatva. Why? For an example, a person who is a very gymnasium, is a good at gymnastics, or he is good at yogasanas, exercises, he can sit straight for hours together. But his mind is not under control. His mind may be turbulent, restless, and he is materialistic. He's seeing the matter everywhere instead of seeing the consciousness. Now, the person may be physically is not very good, but not very healthy. So for a long time, he may not be able to sit straight, but still, since he has got a control over his mind, and if he is able to see that consciousness in everywhere and in everything, he has got more samatva. So that's what the author is trying to tell in this particular sloka. Means we should see the consciousness or the Atman or Brahman everywhere. That is what author is trying to tell. So self-knowledge is important for the author. So he's trying that instead of seeing the matter everywhere, try to see the consciousness everywhere. That is what has been told by author. So from prapancha drushtya, we should shift ourselves to Atma drushti. Means from the world vision, we should switch over to the vision of Brahman, or vision of the self, or vision of the consciousness. We can see same thing in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was able to see that God or the divinity in everywhere, in everything. That's why he was unable to pluck the flowers. Initially, when he started as a priest, he was able to do all the pujas, and cleaning the vessels and plucking flowers, etc., etc. But afterwards, when he had a vision, universal visions, nirvikalpa samadhi, then he was unable to pluck the flower. Why? Because he feels that there is a life there. If I pluck a flower, then there will be pain. He was able to see that the divinity everywhere. And same thing, because of his throat cancer, when he was unable to eat, then Swami Vivekananda, as Narendranath says that, why don't you ask Mother Kali so that at least let your disease come down so that you'll be able to eat at least. Then Sri Ramakrishna initially says, no, I cannot ask such prayers. Naren pleads, he presses Sri Ramakrishna that for our sake, at least you ask Mother Kali. Then he asks, Sri Ramakrishna asks Mother Kali, the children are asking, disciples are asking that at least you should allow me, or you should make some good for my throat so that at least I should be able to eat some gravy, some soup. Then Mother says that you are eating through so many mouths, is it not enough? So that is what Atma Buddhi means. Whatever the self or the divinity or the consciousness is there in me, that is there, exists in everyone and in everywhere. That is what Vishvatma Buddhi, Vishvatma Drushti. So when we are able to attain that state, then you have got samatva. And the one more definition of samatva we see, accepting the good and bad, right, wrong, happiness, unhappiness, all these things accepting in equanimity, in an equal mindset. That is also called samatva. But here the author is trying to tell very clearly that when we are able to see the God or divinity in everywhere or in everyone, that is called samatva. Means from prapancha drushti, we have to shift our vision to atma drushti. From matter consciousness, we should shift ourselves to the divine consciousness, or seeing the consciousness in everywhere and in everyone. For an example, there's a beautiful table, wood, there's a beautiful chair, there's a beautiful stool, there's a beautiful doll. Yes, there are four things. But all the four things are made up of from wood. When I go to shop, I see four things, no doubt. But a person who has got Advaitic vision, he says that the wood is made from, the wood is real, but the wood has been carved into different shapes. It has got different forms, and based on different forms, it has got different names. So names and forms are an appearance, the substance from which these all four articles are made, that is wood. Wood is the real one. So we are always obsessed with the name and forms. We have to get away from the name and forms. We have to we have to hold on to the original substance, original content. That is what the author is trying to tell. So we have to shift our vision from the matter to the consciousness. Now, the same idea has been also extended in the next shloka also. Drushtim gnanamayam krutva pashyed brahmamayam jagat sadrushtihi paramodara na nasagrava lokini. Converting this ordinary vision into one of knowledge. What is that knowledge? One should view the world as Brahman itself. That is the noblest vision, and not that which is directed to the tip of the nose. Again, samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan nachilam siram sampreksha nasikagram swam dishascha avalokayan. Without seeing here and there, who is able to see the tip of the nose and who can meditate, he will be able to meditate, he will be able to get concentration. This idea has been told in Bhagavad Gita. There is one type of meditation. One is closing our eyes, trying to concentrate our mind on particular object or on particular form of the God. And there is other type of meditation where they keep their eyes half closed and they'll be seeing the just tip of the nose only. That's also a type of meditation. There's also one more type of meditation where they try to concentrate between the eyebrows. Bhru Madhya, Agna Chakra, where it is there, they try to concentrate. So here, the author is trying to tell that someone with half-closed eyes, they try to concentrate on their tip of the nose. They try to direct their vision on the tip of the nose. That is good. That is also required, no doubt, but that is not enough. In the primary stage or in the preliminary stages, to control our mind, to exercise our mind, all these things are required, but actually, we have to shift our vision from the world to the Brahman. The same idea again. Instead of seeing the world, we should be able to see the consciousness. Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. In this external world, whatever is there, starting from atom to the macrocosm, starting from small amoeba, paramecium, euglena, starting from there to planets, human beings, birds, beasts, everything should be soaked with or covered with divinity. That is what Ishavasya Upanishad says. And this is a practice for us, but for the learned people, for the wise people, it is a vision or it is an experience. Sri Ramakrishna himself says that. After having the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, I was able to see that Brahman is existing everywhere. The whole world is pervaded by consciousness. And what about these human beings? When I see the different people, it is looking just like they are a shadow. Say for an example here, if you are able to see my background screen, because of light, there is a reflection, there is a shadow of my body. Whereas the body is real, but not the shadow. So just like it is an appearance. So similarly, when Sri Ramakrishna used to see different people, it was for him, the people were appearing as a shadow, it seems. Means like Swapnavat, like dream reality. In the dream world, the mind takes the different forms, human beings, birds, animals, food, enjoyer, enjoyed, experience, everything is only mind. But when it comes to waking state, it loses its reality. Why? Because it was an appearance. But whereas in the waking state, for all of us, it looks real. But for the realized person, just like how we experience the dream state, and when we come to waking state, how we understand that that is unreal or it was an appearance, even the waking state also appears as a dream state, or waking state also appears as unreal for the realized person. When that is attained, then your vision has become clear. For example, this vision is clear. If I got a cataract, then I cannot see the world or the objects or the people properly because of there is a problem in my vision, external vision. Similarly, our visions are also hampered with our emotions, with our dirty mind dirt, all these things. Once it is cleaned, when it is refined, we'll be able to see the reality, that is that Brahman or the consciousness, that is the reality. So if you can do that, that is the reality, or that is what Samyak Drushti or Gnana Drushti or Druksthiti. This is what the 10th limb according to the Acharya. If you see, among the 5 sense organs of knowledge, the eyes and ears are very important. Most of our knowledge we get either from eyes and ears only. That's why in teaching and lecturing and all, audio visual is given very important. We hear lectures and we understand. And we see an object, by that we understand many things. Say for an example, 1 hour I give a lecture on particular subject or concept. For example, a beautiful painting, or maybe 2-3 minutes of a good documentary or a film, if I put it, then 1 hour lecture can be projected or can be made understood just in 3 minutes video. Because there is audio and video, both are involved there, it will be very powerful. And more than audio, video is very important for us. We hear, no doubt, but more than hear, our eyes are very strong. And we get most of our knowledge through these eyes. When this eyes, when it is closed, that means we are detached ourselves from the world. We are switched off ourselves from this external world to the larger extent. Then we turn that vision into the inside and we try to understand who am I. This is what we do, meditation. And again, some people with the half-closed eyes, they try to concentrate on the tip of the nose or in the eye center or in the heart or in the head portion. There is a second type of meditation. Now, the author is trying to tell, why don't you meditate with the open eyes? There's a wonderful meditation. This is told by even Swami Vivekananda. Why do you close the windows and the doors of your house? Open it. Let the fresh air come. Let the sunlight come. And try to see the world as a reality. Swami Vivekananda beautifully says in one of his lectures. Means with the open eyes, let me see that reality. Let me see that Brahman. Let me see that consciousness. Let me see the God. First type of meditation, which is very difficult for all of us, where we are closing the eyes and we are trying to see the God or divinity inside. And with the half-closed eyes, we are trying to concentrate our mind on different parts of the body and trying to achieve the concentration. Then the third type of meditation or third type of concentration, which is told by author in this particular verse, that keep your eyes open, but still you should be able to see the Brahman or consciousness in everywhere and in everything. This is called Vedantic vision. Means don't see the world as a matter. Don't see the world as just gross elements. Rather, see that the world is nothing but appearance of the Brahman. Or the Brahman is appearing as this world. Brahman has been projected as the world. Brahman plus time and space causation, that is what world. Beautifully explained by Swami Vivekananda in his Gnana Yoga lectures. So this is what in this particular verse, the author is trying to tell. So we should develop Vedantic vision, knowledge vision, or vision of Brahman or Brahman vision. Means see the God everywhere, seeing the divinity everywhere. Again, shifting from the matter to the consciousness, shifting from the matter to the divinity, seeing the divinity everywhere and in everything. How to understand? Seeing the golden ornaments. Why, Swamiji, you always tell every time you give an experiment of gold, are you really so much fond of gold? No, just I give an example, that's all. You can take silver instruments also, silver ornaments also, there is never mind. Like for example, silver necklace, silver earring, silver nose ring, silver bracelets. There are 4 or 5 types of silver ornaments. They've got different shapes. For example, even silver necklace, if you say, it has got a shapes and probably it has got some limbs also. But all of them are different name and forms are there, different types of ornaments, different type of names and different types of forms. They're all totally different, 4 or 5 ornaments. Yes, it has got different functional aspects too. But there's only one substance. There are 4 or 5 items. What is that one substance? Silver. The silver has been appearing as 4 or 5 substances, like silver earring, silver nose ring, silver necklace, silver bracelet. The same only one substance called Brahman, the divinity or the consciousness, is appearing as this Nama Rupa Jagat, that is name, the world in the form of name and form. The moment the name and form doesn't exist, the dual world ceases to exist. It is very important. In Karma Yoga lectures, Swami tells this beautifully, explains how this world has been manifested. The world starts manifesting how? In the form of name, in the form of form. Because the mind can comprehend only till the name and form. Beyond the name and form, it cannot comprehend at all. It is a very subtle idea. We have to think little deeply. So this name and form itself is an appearance, means the whole dual world ceases to exist. This is what the philosophical idea. So when the duality doesn't exist, there is only non-dual consciousness. That is what Brahman. So shift your vision from this dualistic world, which is made up of name and form, which is an appearance, which is an illusion. Shift your vision to the reality. That is what? Consciousness. That is what? The Brahman. That is what? The divinity. Seeing the Brahman everywhere. The same, again, clearing the vision has been continued in the next verse also. Drashtu darshana drushyanam viramo yatrava bhavet drushtis tatraiva kartavya nanasagrava lokini. Means, or one should direct one's vision to that alone, to that the reality, where all distinctions of seer, seen and sight or seeing causes, and not to the tip of the nose. I am the seer and I am seeing the laptop. That is called seen, and the seer is seeing the scene. The action is called the sight or the seeing. So we have got three things: the seer, the seen, and the seeing experience. Similarly, the knower, I am the knower, and I am knowing something, the action, and I am trying to know something which is called known. Gnata, gnana, and the vastu, gnana vastu. This is what. So these 3 things exist, isn't it? But one should direct the vision to know that beyond all these 3 things, there is a one substratum, one substance, which is called Brahman. So again and again, author is denying that you should stop seeing this tip of the nose, trying to concentrate on the tip of the nose. When you hear this, then people may feel, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita, it has been told by great sages and by God himself. Why author is denying this? So author doesn't deny the importance of it. It is required at the beginning stages or the primary stages, but we should not get stuck there only. Rather, we should evolve ourselves to the Vedantic vision. How? When we start practicing car driving, probably we will practice our car driving in the road where there is no vehicle or there is no traffic at all. Probably 1 or 2 people will be driving, 1 or 2 people moving. In that type of roads, we practice initially car driving. Or in the fields, we may practice car driving to be safer. But for all of our life, we cannot keep on practicing our car driving in the empty roads. Somewhere we have to come into the busy roads. So similarly, the author is trying to tell, don't stop yourself trying to meditate or concentrate on the tip of the nose, but evolve yourselves to the Vedantic meditation or the Vedantic vision. Seeing the divinity with the open eyes. That's what he means. Like the seer, the seen, and the seeing. These are the 3 things are there, isn't it? But slowly, this duality should ceases to exist, and the only seer is real. The drashta is alone is real. I, the consciousness alone is real. The divinity alone is real. That we have to understand. So all the duality ceases to exist. How to understand? In sushupti, in deep sleep. In the waking state, I am the experiencer is there, and the experienced world is there, and the act of experiencing is there. For example, I am enjoying ice cream. Ice cream, the object is there. The enjoying ice cream, the action is involved, and I am enjoying the ice cream. I am eating the ice cream, and I am enjoying the ice cream. The seer is there. Three things. When in mind, and you are having a sleep, and in the dream sleep, oh, Swamiji, I had a wonderful polar bear ice cream. Wonderful polar bear ice cream. I with a chocolate and with a dark chocolate and with the nuts. It was so wonderful ice cream. And my mother was not there. My father was not there. No one was there. So there was no problem for money also. So as a result, I ate 10 scoops of chocolate ice cream. Wonderful. You were enjoying eating the ice cream. And suddenly, alarm bell rang. Morning alarm bell rang, and your dream got broken. Then you got up. Then it was only a dream, but it was not real. In the dream, was that really the ice cream was existing? But no. But was your experience was real or unreal? In the dream state, it was real, but in the waking state, it is unreal. Then where this ice cream came? You went to ice cream shop, you purchased ice cream, you saw the shop, you saw the shop owner, and you saw the person who was preparing and giving you ice cream, and you saw so many things. Maybe there were so many people also. So many people you saw, shop you saw, ice cream you saw, experiencing ice cream, eating ice cream you saw, everything you saw. All these things, the mind has taken the forms of all of these things. Neither there were people there actually in reality. Neither the shop, nor the shop owner, nor the person who prepared, nor any items, nor the people, but the mind alone has taken the form of all these things, including the experience of your enjoying the ice cream. So at least two things are there. In the waking world, three things were there. In the mind, it is reduced to two things. Now in the deep sleep state, there is no mind, there is no senses, there is no experience, there is consciousness alone, actually, if you have to think. There is just bare awareness, there is a pure awareness alone. There is no external world. External world may be there, but for you, there is no external world. Why? Because you are not experiencing the external world. And your mind, senses, everything has gone to the dormant state. You are not experiencing any of them. It is a complete dark, only the consciousness, the pure consciousness, the bare awareness is there. And once you get, again, you come to waking state, all of these things, it comes. The question may come to you, how can you say that, Swamiji, the consciousness is there alone? If that is there, then I should be aware that I was having a deep sleep. But in deep sleep, I'm not aware. Only after getting up, only I'm aware. Because your consciousness was existing in the deep sleep, that is why you are aware and you are able to say that I had a deep sleep. Imagine, say for an example, Dermot is having a deep sleep or not. His physical body is resting, no doubt, but I do not know whether he has got a deep sleep or not. Only Dermot can say, yes, he had a deep sleep or not based on his experience, because his consciousness was there or is there. That's why he was able to say, or is able to say, yes, I had a deep sleep or I didn't have a deep sleep. So consciousness alone exists in the deep sleep with ignorance. But whereas if I go to the fourth state, Turiya state, the consciousness alone exists, even not the ignorance. The ignorance has been removed. Ignorance has been destroyed. So when I go to that fourth state, I'll be able to see that consciousness or the divinity everywhere and in everything. So that is what the Vedantic vision, that is what Atma Drushti, that is what Sthiti Drushti, that is what Samyak Drushti, according to the author, that is what the 10th limb according to the author. Means in Nididhyasana, why we want to do Vedantic meditation, Vedantic contemplation, by thinking again and again, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, I'll be able to experience that I am that Brahman. Why? Because we are being hypnotized ourselves that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the son of so-and-so, I am some so-and-so with so many paraphernalia. So I have to dehypnotize myself that I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. So I am trying to correct my thinking, saying that I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman. That is Vedantic meditation, Vedantic contemplation, which is the Nididhyasana. So to get established in that, so we need Atma Drushti, seeing that God, seeing the divinity everywhere. Initially, it is superficial for us. It will be imposing artificially, no doubt, but slowly, slowly by practicing it, it becomes real. Say, for an example, in a devotional meditation, we feel that there is a Sri Ramakrishna in us, Rama or Krishna, Jesus in our heart, and we try to feel the presence of the God in us. Initially, it is superficial, but slowly, slowly by practicing meditation, when it becomes intense, when it becomes concentrated, then we'll be able to see that God in that form, whatever we are trying to meditate, we were trying to visualize, we were trying to think. So that becomes reality. Initially, it was an object, it was imposition, but it gets turned into reality. So similarly, I am that Brahman, trying to seeing that Brahman or divinity. Initially, it will be imposition, no doubt. It is artificial imposition, but slowly, slowly, when we excel in our spiritual life, when we excel in our spiritual sadhana, we'll be able to experience the reality. That is what the author is trying to tell. Now, what is pranayama? It is very important in this present day. In the Western world, a lot of people do pranayama, Pranayama, controlling the breath in simple language, we say. So according to the author, in this particular text, he has got a different idea, different explanation. Let us see what it is. Chittadi sarva bhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanat nirodha sarva vrittinam pranayama uchyate. Means chittadi sarva bhaveshu. In all feelings, in all type of emotions, in all type of bhavas, in the mind, brahmatvenaiva bhavanat. Trying to see or trying to feel that Brahman alone is true, trying to see that Brahman alone exists in everywhere. Nirodha sarva vrittina, controlling the mind, having the self-mastery over the mind, and trying to see the God, trying to see the Brahman everywhere. That is what pranayama, according to me. It is not that closing the nostrils and trying to inhale from both the nostrils, or control both the nostrils and trying to exhale from other nostrils. That is what pranayama. Prana means it is energy, air, and ayama means it is regulation, regulating. It is disciplining. It is controlling. Controlling, regulating, disciplining is called ayama. So pranayama means what? Controlling the breath, regulating the breath, or manipulating it, disciplining it, the breath. This is what we see in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, or general meaning. But the author is trying to tell that, according to the Vedanta, pranayama means what? Of course, in 3 shlokas, he explains pranayama means what? Trying to see the Brahman in every state of the mind, in every person or everywhere. That is what pranayama according to it. So probably I will give little example, little explanation about pranayama. Prana means it is vital energy. So this is pranayama. So now in the empirical science, from the matter they have come to the energy level. From the energy level, they are supposed to go to still conscious level. Whereas the Advaita Vedanta has given from matter to energy, energy to consciousness. It has already gone, or it has reached its point. Now this prana, based on the functions, it has been categorized, or it has been classified into 5 types. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. What is this prana? The location of prana is a type of prana. Is it generally in the head, in the lungs, and in the heart? It is located. And its movement is always inward and downward, it seems. And it is the vital force. Actually, it is very important. When this prana is balanced, our breathing is balanced, what happens? It leads to balanced mind and balanced emotions. If your mind is turbulent, if your mind is so much restless, if you start doing breathing exercise, so to a certain extent, your mind becomes calm. Your mind becomes, your emotions become calm. And your restlessness becomes much calmer, actually. Why? Because the prana has got, it is there located in the head, in the lungs, and also in the heart. Heart is the place for all our emotions. Then the second type of prana is called apana. The location of this apana is in the lower abdomen. The movement is outward and downward, it seems. And it is related to the process of elimination, evacuation of, ejection of all the unwanted things from our body, reproduction. And when the apana is balanced, what happens, the reproductive system becomes all right, and our digestion systems, it gets improved. If someone has got a digestion problem, then apana is disturbed. So if your apana has been controlled, balanced, then your digestion system gets become better. Then the third type of prana is called udana. It is located in diaphragm and throat. Movement is upward always, and it is related to respirations, then speech and brain functions. When this udana is balanced, it leads to very healthy respiration, so that supply of oxygen to our blood becomes better. So purity of blood gets improved, and our speech gets better clarity, and we get good memory, and our creativity will be improved, it seems, by practicing udana. So if someone wants to be more and more creative, then the udana should be balanced properly. Then the fourth type of prana is called samana. It is located in the navel portion. I think from samana only the death also happens, I think. And the movement is spiral. It is concentrated around the navel like a churning motions, cycles. It is related to mostly with our digestive systems and healthy metabolic reactions also. It is connected. Then the last one type is Vyana. Vyana, it originates from the heart actually, and it is distributed throughout the body also. The movement is outward, and it is related to all our blood circulation system, nervous system, and our cardiac system. So balanced Vyana leads to healthy heart, good blood circulation, and good nervous system. So if there is a nervous breakdown, if Vyana is balanced, then the nervous breakdown can be controlled. These are all things you see in a Yoga Shastras and Hatha Yoga Pradipika or any book on pranayama. All this type of pranayama, what is the use of pranayama, why should we need to do pranayama, and what are the types of pranas, all these things you tell. And also by controlling prana kosha, prana, what happens? Your annamaya kosha, this is physical body, or the food sheath, and manomaya kosha, the mental sheath is controlled. So by controlling the breathing, your body and your mind can be controlled, manipulated, regulated. That is why it is very important. This is all we understand. We get information from this Patanjala Yoga Sutras, and mainly not from Patanjala completely, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and I think Gerunda Samhita, and all this. Now, coming to Advaitic thing. So he says that it is not just holding the breath. Why? Because a simple pranayama, when you inhale the air, it is called Puraka. When you retain the air, it is called Kumbhaka. When you exhale the air, it is called Rechaka. And in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika also, they tell it is 1:1:1, or 1:4:2, or 1:2:2. In this, ratio, one has to do inhalation, retention, and exhalation. By that, we'll be able to control our body and mind, and our health is improved, and we'll be able to meditate, etc., etc. But whereas Advaita accepts this importance of pranayama, efficacy of pranayama, no doubt, but he says that self-knowledge is very important. So we should be able to see the Brahman or the self everywhere, in every state of the mind. That is what, according to us, pranayama. Just like air is been completely, existing in our body. So similarly, we should be able to fill this consciousness inside and outside everywhere. That is what pranayama, according to the Adi Shankaracharya. Like chitta. Chitta means what? Mind. According to the Vedanta, mind has got 4 functional aspects. One is our restlessness of the mind. It keeps on thinking whether I should do this or I should not do this. Sankalpa vikalpatmaka, we say. Whether I should do this or I should not do this. Whether I should get up or why should I sleep. This is called manas. Then no, you should get up. You should sit for meditation. You should not waste your time. So decisive faculty is called buddhi. Then someone scolds us, immediately we get annoyed, we get angry, and we react. Why? Because our ego got hurt. Ahankara, aham, we say. Then we are going, oh, yesterday I saw this fellow, isn't it? You are the same fellow. Why? Based on my memory. This is called chitta. So these 4 things together, it is called antakarna. So chitta, this antakarna. When we are able to control our mind, and when we stop our activities of the mind, then what happens? Then I will be able to understand who am I. So that is what pranayama, according to the Adi Shankaracharya. For him, all transactions are momentary. So many things are coming, so many things are going. So many people are coming and so many people are going. And a person who has blurred his vision and he has withdrawn his vision, and though he has got open eyes, if he has blurred his vision or he has withdrawn his mind and he has turned inside, that means what? Nothing matters for him. Or sakshi bhava, or witness, we can say. Why? Because his vision has been turned inside towards the self or the God. With openness, with alertness, with a consciousness, with full of awareness, one can live like this, staying in a sakshi bhava. How? Trying to seeing the God or divinity everywhere. That is what pranayama, according to the author. Why? The world is unreal. The world is an appearance. Beginning, the world should be appearance for us. Then afterwards, we will see the Brahman alone as the everywhere. Suryananji Maharaj, the apostle of Sri Ramakrishna, while he passing away, he said, Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya. Shankaracharya said, Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya. Brahman is true and the world is an illusory appearance. Then one of the greatest Advaitic monk, Swami Turiyanji, says, Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya. Brahman is also true and this world is also true. How to understand this? Is this contradicting them? Then who is wrong and who is right? Both are right. The Brahman is true and the world as we see, it is unreal. The Brahman is true, the world is also true. Why? Because the Brahman himself or Brahman itself is appearing as this world. When the Gnani understands this, he will be able to see the Brahman and Brahman alone everywhere. He doesn't see the world as we see. That's beautifully this subtle concept, subtle idea has been told by Sri Ramakrishna beautifully. What? Before going to the terrace, we don't know what is on the terrace. For us, the terrace is something else and the steps are made up of something else. And when we climb the steps and when we go to the terrace, we understand that whatever the terrace is made up of and the steps we climbed, both are made up of the same substance. That is what Advaitic vision, that's what Turiyananji meant, Brahma Satya and Jagat Satya. Means Brahman alone exists and Brahman is appearing all these things, but all these things are momentary and Brahman is only true. Now, how to understand this subtle concept? Some people are telling so much again and again, but it is really head-boggling. Sometimes it also feels that, yes. Now, you go to ocean. Ireland is an island. Ireland is fully surrounded with the ocean. We all know that. So we go to Howth here in Ireland and we see beautiful ocean. I mean, ocean and the waves. You see such a beautiful waves. What a nice waves. Did Swamiji, don't you enjoy these waves? Yes, waves are so nice. It is so sight to see. Then we were all enjoying. Then after some time, that means waves are also real. The ocean water is also real for us. Then Then I start asking, my dear, waves are so nice. It is sight to see, no doubt. Our waves are different from the ocean water? Huh? Oh, this is the problem with these monks and philosophers. Always they keep on discriminating. Swami, since you have said, let me think. Waves are different from the ocean water are same. Oh, no. The ocean water is appearing as waves. Initially, ocean water is true and waves are true. We were enjoying both the things. I started asking you, is the waves of the ocean is different from the water of the ocean? See, no. The water in the ocean is appearing as the wave. So here, your shift of the vision has been changed. The reality has been restricted now more to the water of the ocean and not to the waves. But slowly I will say, the water alone exists. When the water has taken the particular form, then you are saying as a name, you are giving the name as called wave, then water alone exists. Where is the wave? Then water alone exists for us, but when the water has raised in the particular form, we call by the name. So this has been told by Upanishad, Vacharam vano vikaro namadevam mrittikaseva satyam. We see different names and forms. We give different names for different forms, but only the mrittikaseva satyam, only the clay is true. From the clay we made a pot, we made a vase, we made a plate, we made a tumbler, we made some different dolls, we made earthen lamps. All different names, different shapes, different forms. But if you put everything into one, then clay substance. When the moment you remove the clay substance from all these different types of particles, everything ceases to exist. So the name and form is unreal. They are illusory. Only the substance, clay is real there. So similarly, the Brahman alone is real and everything else is appearance. Wave and water is true initially. Then water is appearing as wave. That was also true for us. Then water is alone is true. It has only appearance. Then you say, then yes. So this is what the shift of the vision of the Vedantic vision the author is trying to tell in all these slokas. I hope we have understood or you have understood. Of course, understanding is one thing, putting into practice is one more thing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. If you have got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Not a question really, but I'm not clear. But so, like for a self-realized person on Earth, it's really like they're not on Earth.
Sorry?
You know, if somebody was self-realized, they would be beyond the seer, the seeing and the seen. So they'd be beyond, you know, thinking of themselves as a knowing object, as a knowing subject, you know, engaging in a process of knowing and then having a knowing object. So I just had something about, like, you know, is it like that they are already in a different dimension, even though physically they are here? You know,
yes,
so
I'll give you an example. I understood your question.
We see them as like individuals or whatever, but that's not how. It's like, you know, this is a wrong way of putting it, but I can't think of a better way. But you know, it's not you know, they're not the idea of transitioning to something, or even the idea of realizing something, all that is gone for them, for a self-realized person.
Yeah. So I'll give an example. Probably, I don't know whether you have seen in Ireland or not. It is difficult to see here. In India, you might have seen. If you are going in the road, in the tar road, in the hot summer, you'll be seeing some and sometimes you maybe get bluffed that there is some water has been spilled over on the road because of intense sunlight. there's a reflection on the tar road, and you see that there's a water body or there's some water has been spilled over on the road. Then you are driving a two-wheelers, not the four-wheelers. Then you'll become careful. Otherwise, you may get slipped or you may fall off. Then you go slowly. Then when you go near, because of the refraction of light, you understand that it was only refraction of light. It was only mirage. It was an appearance. Actually, there was no water there at all. You understood. Then second or third time, similar experience, somewhere it happens. Then you will understand. Then the fourth time, the similar experience when it happens, you are experiencing that there is some water body or there is a water spillover on the road. There is an experience, you are experiencing, your mind and your eyes are telling that you will be knowing that, no, I have got already bluffed 3 times and I had become 3 times buffoon. Now I don't want to become buffoon again because it is an appearance because of refraction of sunlight. There is no water. But your eyes and mind is seeing and it is feeling that there is a water, but you know in the heart of heart that there is no water, and you don't reduce your speed of your two-wheelers, you will go with a good speed, or probably you may increase your speed also, if there is no rush there, or if there is no speed breakers, isn't it? Yeah. That's what it happens. When you were ignorant, you felt that there is a water and you reduced your speed, but once you know, though you may see the same phenomena, but you are not getting moved away. That's what happens between the ignorant person and the realized person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions?
You said in the beginning that the control of breath automatically calms the mind, and then is it a little bit of paradox that the gymnasts can like have a control of breath but still can have unsettled mind?
Yeah. Why? Because, I mean, to a certain extent, why? Yes, because their motivation, their intentions are different. Means if they practice pranayama to control the mind, yes, they can do it, but they do for health sake only. So that is the reason it has not taken care. See, any of these things will have its effect to certain extent, to certain limit. More than that, it is not done. Okay, I'm doing lot of 100 cycles of pranayama. Can I have absolute control over the mind? No. It helps us to have a control over the mind to certain extent, no doubt, but it is not the alpha and omega. That's what we mean.
And then the example is that if one sees the reality of the consciousness, in everyone and everywhere, like the famous example that is given in Naren's life, that he was having a conversation with Hajra, and then Thakur touched his heart, and then for 2 days he was seeing it, and that brought him to a kind of a state of an unreal world, and gives me the impression that it was not a workable day-to-day affairs. Like he came across in front of a cart, chariot and all these things. At the very last moment he pulled off and he touched his head to the railings of the park and to see. So seeing that consciousness, it's impossible to work in a apparent world. Like, okay. Do you have some comment on that?
No, the question comes for you now, that whether your working in the world is important for you or realization of the self is important.
No, I'm not asking in the point of view of importance. I'm just asking that being in that state continuously,
it becomes difficult. Say, for an example, for an ignorant person, how he works, the way he behaves, the way he works, and the realized person, once he gets realization or once he attains realization, definitely in the similar way, in the same way, he cannot work. He will have his limitations. He will not be able to work in that force. Yes. Definitely will not be able to. In general, it is not possible. Because you will be able to, because the reality, the Satyatva Buddhi itself will go away, no? Because how much ever we listen, how much ever we say, for us, the world is real. That's why we give a lot of importance to this. So for him, the world will be no more real. It is only appearance for him. The Brahman or the consciousness alone is real, that understanding, that experience is there for him. So it doesn't bother much to him. Since he is living in this body, he has to do some work, he will be doing, but he will be not obsessed like us. That's what we can see in the Tukaram's life. Tukaram was sent, he tried with many works actually. He couldn't work actually. Why? Because in no time his mind is to get merged in the God. Mind is to cogitate or meditate on the God. That's the reason he was unable to work like us. As a result, many times he lost jobs with many people and he was scolded, he was abused, and probably got beatings from his wife also. But at the same time, he was not perturbed. Why? Because for him, the Vitthala, his chosen deity, it was alone real for him. This world and this samsara or the family, everything was just, it was a play for him. Because the Satyatva Buddhi itself will go away then. So he will not be having any problem at all, or he will not get bothered at all. He is not getting perturbed at all. Also. Even if it is perturbed, it is very momentary. How to understand? Probably I'll give an example. Now you draw a line on the water. Immediately it goes away. Similarly, you draw a line on the sand. If it is on the bank of the ocean, then just a wave, it rubs away. Everything, it rubs the line. Or in a desert or somewhere, if it goes, then because of air, because of gush of wind, again some more sand will come and cover it, then it also goes away. Now, you draw a line on the wall by a pencil. It becomes more permanent. Maybe with the eraser, you can erase it. But you draw a line from the permanent marker. Then you have to paint it. Otherwise, you have to put some special solution but to remove that line. Then you take probably a very sharp instrument and you draw the line on the wall. Then it leaves a big scar where probably you have to sizzle it out and you have to apply some paste or cement and you have to put a paint and all. But still, it may not be natural like earlier because it has gone very deep. So this is what happens when you are a realized person. Just like drawing a line on the water, it doesn't leave any effect. So for the people of the realization, the men of realization, transactions will be there, that effect will be there on their mind like momentary. The more and more you manifest the divinity, what happens? You'll be able to live in the truth and the effect of the world and the reality of the world ceases to exist for you. This can be the example we can understand. Is it clear?
No, I didn't ask from that perspective. Say I'll take all the examples of the apostles of Thakur. So all of them were realized soul, and all of them could could shift their mind to that reality. And still, if I see their lives, all of them were such a great karma yogi. They worked. So when they worked, so at that time, what was based on the theory, they brought their mind down such that they were not looking at this from that point of view. I find it difficult to understand that the vibrations or that when they were seeing it as all consciousness, they found it difficult. At the same time, they lived a life where they really worked harder or most efficient than the efficient or in the most efficient way. So where did they keep their mind when they were working so efficiently? This is the question. Perhaps a bit silly, but I'm really
wonderful question. So this can be understood in two ways. One is out of compassion. Out of compassion for the beings, for the mortal beings, they have worked. They don't have anything to achieve now. They have already achieved whatever is supposed to be achieved. Because out of compassion for the humankind, they have worked it. This is the one way we can understand. The second is they try to bring their mind down a bit. So for an example, from the pure gold, you cannot prepare any ornament. Some say 1 or 2 or 5%, you have to add some more metal, some other metal, then only you can prepare an ornament. So similarly, just like Sri Ramakrishna says that, okay, I will eat jalebi. Fixing his mind, or thinking his mind in a jalebi, or thinking his mind in a water, or thinking mind in a food, or something like that, or having some sort of petty desires, they keep their mind bit down so that they'll be able to do the work. Maybe compassion for the beings, or like I'm the knower of the Brahman, I'm the devotee of the Lord, or I want this too, I want to do this, like that. Some sort of very petty desire, a small desire they will keep, by which the mind will hook onto it, so that their mind will be little, their conscious level will be bit down from the ultimate consciousness called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, like say. So they'll be able to do the service activities in this mundane world. So that's what we can see very clearly. Even Subodhananji's, I think, Subodhananji's life, it happens. Subodhananji, Sri Ramakrishna's divine touch, his mind rose to the particular level where he was able to see many celestial beings, and he had a wonderful experience. And then afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, you go back to your body. Then Subodhan said, no, this is just made of flesh and muscles and bones and all the filthy items. Filthy metals. I will not go there. Ramakrishna said, rascal, only once you had this experience. Every day, infinite times I'm having experience and I'm entering my body, and you don't want to enter. Just get inside, like that. He pushed. Just like we are pushed inside the room, or pushed inside for an example, inside a cover, a big cover, or a big an object. So similarly, Subodhanji says that Sri Ramakrishna pushed me literally into this cage, or into this whatever structure. So again, their mind came down, and Subodhanji led. He lived for so many days. He guided young brahmacharis in the Belur Math and all so many things. So their mind comes bit down. That's the reason either incarnations, prophets, the great saints, they'll be able to work. But that will not have any effect on their mind, actually. Yeah.
Do they not have a prarabdha karma to work out even
I think this has been discussed in a lot of classes.
That their body mind amalgam.
Yes. So there will be no prarabdha.
Yes, I know. I can't remember back. It's finished.
Never mind, Dharmat. No, there will be no prarabdha karma for us. It will be exhausted because they're already Brahmagnanis. No agami karma, no sanchita karma for them. Okay.
Even
what about prarabdha? From Gnani's point of view. Okay. I'm telling you, from Gnani's point of view, even there is no prarabdha karma. But from Agnani's point of view, there is a prarabdha karma. For Agnani, it is there, but for Gnani, there is no prarabdha karma. This has been told very clearly by author. I think a couple of slokas we dedicated.
That's okay.
Yeah. So any other questions?
Just as a...
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, as the one word out of the explanation that you said. So for Advaitins, the one who really sees that the oneness. So in their dictionary, compassion is not there, I guess.
No, is there? Why?
Because there's no two. So who to show compassion?
Because one is appearing as many, in the dualistic world, one is appearing as many. There are no two things. No doubt, there are no two things at all. But one is appearing as many.
So one is appearing as many. Advaitins also, okay. So Advaitins, being Advaitins, know that this appearing as many things as a two. Okay.
Appearing as many as true, they don't accept. Appearing as many are there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Could you say just something about deep sleep? Because you mentioned that. I've never. I know it's in them, and
in the deep sleep,
I always find it very. We can't have an experience of deep sleep. We can remember it after the fact, but you can't have an experience of it, during it, because that would imply that you're, that would imply duality.
Yeah, what happens in the deep sleep, in the deep sleep, the awareness and the consciousness as you are there, and it is covered with the ignorance. Okay. But your body, mind, your body is there, externally body is there, no doubt. Your mind, your senses, all these things gets into dormant state. It gets halt. So only your awareness is there. That is the reason, based on that memory, when you get up, you are able to say that I had a good sleep. If your consciousness is not there, if your consciousness is not there, or if you as a consciousness, if you're not there in the deep sleep, you cannot say that I had a good sleep. Just like I cannot say that Dharmat had a good sleep or not, isn't it? So Dharmat cannot say for like Ram Prasad whether Ram Prasad had a good sleep or not. Why?
Yeah.
Because you are not there in his consciousness. So because you are the experiencer there, no doubt, in the deep sleeps, you are the experiencer actually, but what happens, only the consciousness is there, your mind is not there. That's why you are not aware while experiencing.
But
in the dream state, your mind is there, mind is active. Your senses are not active, your mind is active. That's why as you are experiencing all the things, whatever you experience in the dreams, and when you get up, most of the times we remember, oh, we had that dream, this dream, or whatever. So,
but you can't directly experience deep sleep. You can wake up afterwards and you remember, and and now you may feel really refreshed and you say, I've had a great sleep. But maybe I'm assuming time, but that there's a timeline. But when you wake up, you look back and you say, oh yes, I really had a great sleep. But during my deep sleep phase, I had no awareness that I was having deep sleep, because I cannot have an experience of it, in that time. Now I know what I'm saying is all assuming time, and that there's a timeline, and that I'm giving that some sort of fundamental.
Why Dharmat? Because your mind is not active in the deep sleep. Since your mind is not active, there is no experience of duality there. There is no experience of the experiencer and the experienced and the experiencing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? When you are eating the food, okay, you are experiencer, and you are eating the food and you are enjoying the taste. The enjoying action is there, and there is a food, external food also, object called food. The three things are there. And in the dream state, you are the experiencer, you are there, and your mind is there. That's why you are experiencing, but there is no external world, and there are no senses are involved there. But in the deep sleep, neither your external world is there for you. And because your senses and your mind is not active there, since your senses and mind is not active, your awareness is there, pure awareness, bare awareness is there. So you cannot experience that while you deep sleep. Only after getting out from the deep sleep, based on the experience and memory, you'll be able to say that you had a good experience.
But is
because
it not?
The same thing happens in Nirvikalpa Samadhi also. When you go in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the experiencer, the experienced, and experience.
There's no triad.
Gets dissolved. Only when your mind comes down, then you'll be able to say that, oh, Nirvikalpa Samadhi was such an ecstatic experience, such a wonderful experience. That's why we say that Brahman cannot be explained. Why? Because the moment you try to explain Brahman, you have to be away from Brahman, then only you can say, isn't it?
So like Brahman is not, it's not an experience.
It is an experience. Meanwhile, experiencing that you are Brahman, you cannot explain. Only when you come out down, when you come down, you can say.
That's what I'm really. It's not. You cannot have a direct experience of it at the time, but you can infer it afterwards.
No, to explain others, but for you, you are that experience. No. You are experiencing yourself. You are experiencing your nature only, actually. But that's what I'm saying. There will be no duality. Experiencer, experienced, and experience will not be there. When you experience the Brahman, only when your mind comes down, then you will be able to say that, oh, I had a Brahman experience of Brahman.
Yeah.
Because as a person, as a saying oh, I experienced Brahman. When you say that, I and experiencing Brahman, there are two things. And experience is there, three things. But when you're experiencing the Brahman, there is neither the experiencer, nor the experience, and nor the experienced. There is only Brahman and Brahman alone. Isn't it? Then where's the question of telling all these things?
Yeah.
For an example, you are only one person in this entire village. There is no one, even second one. Then can you say, oh, I am good, I am bad, he is good, he is bad, she is good, she is bad? No. There is no one second person. Where is the comparison? Comparison always comes in the dualistic world, in the duality, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that experiencing the Brahman is non-dual experience. So you cannot say that, oh, I'm experiencing Brahman. You cannot say that.
Yeah.
If you say that, that means you are not experiencing the Brahman actually. You are nearing that there.
Yeah, that's why it's the peace that passeth understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, for an example, you are watching a movie. There was a movie, and probably yourself, you got so much involved in that movie, in that particular role. You were a lady, actress is crying, and you also started crying. Why? Because yourself got so much attached in that. Yourself, you put her in her place, and you started feeling. And when you are feeling that, you are crying and tears are rolling down and others are seeing, but you are not aware that the problem happened to the actress, not to you. And you were so much obsessed with that, so much attached actually. After some time, oh my God, it was a movie, and actress, there was a problem with the actress, and it was acting only. And why did I cry? But while crying, you never understood. Only afterwards you understood, because you had so much tadatmya, so much getting one with that actress, that you are feeling that it has happened as if to you, so that there was no difference between you and actress. That's why there was a reaction, and there was a crying in you also, with you also.
That's false identification.
If you are the complete identification there, and you are seeing that, such a bad thing, she's suffering. But there again, she's suffering like that. You are feeling compassionate towards her. You are feeling considerate towards her. But still you have that sense of you and that actress. Actress is feeling problem. Actress is facing problem. You are feeling, you are concerned about it. You are feeling bad about it. You are compassionate about it. You are considerate about her. But you are feeling that you are different from her.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's what. So in Sushupti, you are the only person there, but since there is no mind, so you are not conscious of it. Just like in a dream state or in the waking state. Then what is the difference between deep sleep and samadhi? In deep sleep, there is awareness plus ignorance. In nirvikalpa samadhi, there is only awareness, no ignorance. In deep sleep, whoever goes to deep sleep, before going to deep sleep, he was Buddhu. And in deep sleep, you will Buddhu. And coming out from deep sleep, you will be Buddhu. Buddhu means dull-headed fellow.
Yeah.
So the Buddhu enters Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And once he comes out from Nirvikalpa Samadhi, he becomes Buddha, the enlightened ones. Yeah. So there are no other questions, I think. Hope so. Okay. Thank you. We'll see next class. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.